Hello YouTubers, you are listening to me, Raw Ahmad, on Beyond the Rant. Well, I usually talk about political issues when I'm ranting, so paying homage to that, I'm going to talk about climate change. Now, I was watching The Young Turks today and I came across a really interesting fact. You know, there's been a lot of debate about climate change. Well, actually, there hasn't been much debate on climate change, but a lot of people are talking about it, and it seems like in the media you hear like a 50-50, like you think that half the scientists think that there is climate change, the other half think that it's a hoax, or it's a it's a liberally created agenda for whatever reason might be. But here's a fact: from 1991 to 2012, till a couple months ago, there have been 24 studies that have denied climate change. As it's climate change is not happening. There's been 24 scientific reviews denying climate change. So that's a fair amount of research, I would say. Yeah. But now there have been 13,950 scientific peer-reviewed studies that say yes, there is climate change, it's real and it's not fake, it's not a hoax. But you would never think that, right? Because in the media, they cover climate change like it's 50-50, but it's not. The fact of the matter is 99.8% of scientists around the world have research backing up the claim of yes, there is global warming, there is climate change. Now, to hit it home, I live in Ohio. I moved here about a year ago from California. And last year, the winter, according to other Ohioans, it was very mild. It was, I think the coldest it got was like 19 degrees, which is pretty cold for me. And it was about 20s, 30s the whole time. We got about 5 inches of snow in a 3-month period, but it quickly melted away. We got 5 inches of snow, then 3 days later it'd be all gone. I was really mad because I couldn't make my snow sphinx. The whole neighborhood was kind of amused by what the heck is this? It's not a snowman, it's a sphinx. Okay, anyway, so back to the point. So it was a mild winter in Ohio standards. Now this year, today is December 17th, 2012, and this is what I wore. This is what I wore today. It hasn't snowed yet. I think we had one day where it was like 28 degrees, and that was in the middle of the night. I think the low that day was 28, the high was about 32, I believe. But right now, today and yesterday, it was about almost 50 degrees, and the low of it's gonna be like 38. It's pretty warm. it was cool, like the weather's nice, but for me it's kind of, I'm worried for the snow plowers. I'm worried for the local ski resort, and I'm worried for the animals, and their whole hibernation cycle is gonna get messed up. The plants. This is a real concern, and it should be a real concern to us because climate change is upon us. I'm standing here in the middle of winter in Ohio, and it hasn't snowed yet, and it hasn't been cold either. And it's funny because the deniers will tell you, well, next month in January it's going to be really cold and snowing and this and that, But what about now? It's been getting mild every single year for the past 20 years on record. But in Ohio specifically, I can just attest to a year and a half, last winter and this winter. And even for other people that have lived and grew up in Ohio, it's getting kind of uncomfortable, to say the least. So you make up your decision. How is the weather where you live? Is it different? Do you feel like there's something out of whack here, or do you think it's just a cycle that the Earth goes through every couple hundred years? So I'd love to hear your input, and that was my rant. and enjoy the rest of the winter.